on the table there for OpTic. The writing's on the wall. What other ones do we got? It's like time and time
other
again.
Cliches? Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. And I'm so excited for this though, to really just get into it. Holy crap, what a series so far. And for the guard to be able to pull out a game like they just did on Breeze so dominantly, OpTic have to show up. It's like sending a message.
Yeah.
And we saw the mid push here just lurking for a yay be a lot of what OpTic wanted to do on attack. Let's see what the guard wants to do on attack this time.
And just to rehit, as we're still fighting for mid-map control,
Yep.
I think there is something to say for the guard finding so much success on Sayaplayer on the Jet yesterday to immediately go back to this composition, trying to find more value out of Sayaplayer, who really was a non-factor. So, EB, I will give you a bit of a prediction. I think the guard very well may put it away here just by their adjustment. That said, this round, opening first blood looks good, but the pressure is starting to amount as they enter over in towards A. Crashies up top. This is a day one check, but no one's checking it. And Crashies will use that for a double. Site access gain, but a 1v3 required for Valyn.
A little bit of missed time mistake we saw in the beginning of the round as the smoke cleared for JonahP. Valyn finds 3 around the corner, and Victor does himself for this pistol round. Said those were pretty important, the desk just mentioned, so OpTic taking note there. But yeah, that first frag we saw, really taking away the flash capability of popping into the site with the sky up in B heaven. Did not allow this rotation to A for guard to go well. OpTic were able to clamp down very nicely there. And with Victor getting frags, the more he's able to just continuously pop online with the ultimate, cause distractions, we'll see him going forward a lot, even if it's just to activate the fast step and then jump and then come back.
Yeah.
He's always toying with the opponent.
The high gear shoulders are...
Yes.
I feel like there hasn't been a lot of real conversation on it, but like that is free information all day. So yeah, I'm curious to see how that would be possibly used. FNS is able to catch a lot of information. The flash comes through, but Victor is also affected by it. Doesn't make too much of a difference though. 3 quick kills for OpTic, and the guard are literally sucked into a bit of a trap here on B.
You see what they're putting together though. It's so good, even if flashing the teammates, they come up on top for those little ones. No. But yeah, OpTic, you see him putting together a few of these strategies already. Victor starting this at A main shift. Instantly turns it on, gets himself to B heaven. They called that play correctly. So far only losing Yay. You just seek out the last few members of the guard. Oops.
No commentary needed besides those sound effects.
A good second round coming in from OpTic. They clean these ones up and they can get themselves to like a nice build point. You lose your bonus, you're still on the buy of what this team really wants to be able to do on kind of full armor and everything. So we'll see. I mean, if OpTic can come through with this, they can keep this neon pressure up and I think play a little bit more loose in a sense, right? The moment Sayaplayer starts popping off again, you have to worry about where you need Victor, not where Victor is creating problems for the guard.
The other interesting thing about this matchup, obviously in the winners finals, we saw this map very tightly contested. Both teams improved upon what had been their previously worst halves. The guard notoriously bad at offense on this map. They were great finding 6 rounds in the first time through, where the opposite can be said about OpTic. Their defense was struggling until they played in the winners finals, and as you would figure, they also found 6 rounds. So I'm curious to see if there's going to be advantage this time around, and if you can maybe overextend this OpTic defense, because that's really what you have to do, is get Victor in a weird spot or pull somebody away from where they want to hold.
I mean, so far we're verbatim their first meeting, right?
Yep.
First 4 rounds went to OpTic. So we'll see if the guard can recoup a little bit faster than that. Smoke towards mid. That comes out from Valyn, and it looks like they are pushing a 1-1-3 right now. I like the pressure across the map to kind of pepper the situation, but OpTic is so ready.
Like,
oof.
You're going to tell me you're going to get fully suppressed and then dry peek a 3-stack into a crossfire. Don't love that. Valyn revealed by his barrel. Last one left would be Ned, and he is just nowhere near a spike, so at this point, I think you just back away, try to hold your life. This will be a 3rd round OpTic.
It's like forced hand, right? You're like, oh,
yeah,
we can't shoot that. Just up above. It's such a hard 0 point to even know where it's coming from and get the right dodge onto it, because overall it's a giant sphere. You put it up or down, it's going to have a nice little grouping of that area. And now, as you said, saving on the Vandal. It looks like the OpTic are doing a really nice job of not even allowing guard to see those sites. to start things off here. The attempt on the bonus round, and OpTic just shuts down guard.
And that's the biggest thing is OpTic really set a standard for, I was going to avoid the word, but I'm going to use it, abuse defensively. They take the fight to you so darn quickly. And a lot of it is off of the ability to get intel from crashies, but also, as mentioned, like Victor can just throw shoulders all day if he wants to.
Yeah.
And the combination of using him with FNS together is essentially limitless. Like the ability to fault line it and slide forward, it just takes away space instantly. And that was never really responded to from the guard in the early stages.
No.
It's been a different look, though. OpTic have found value in other places that haven't just been the combination of FNS and Victor. So, I don't know. This is a different ask for the guard.
Yeah, and there's little safeties in what you just said, too, because if any of those fault lines miss, you got the relay bolts to come out as well. Crash is holding it down there. Takes down Net. Oh. One taps on the board.
Not good here. Fast lane rather will let crashies out. And the guard are stuck. There is no real exit. There's no real play forward. The Aftershock will try to create space, but it's not to be found. Yates with the dark cover. Will not be able to best Trent, so an opportunity for maybe a couple more kills to come through. Trent's still very healthy. Victor sliding forward, has to jump away. Relay bolt will make sure there's no further contest, and as the flashpoint comes out, Trent will likely shoulder into his death here, and that's exactly the case.
I like the crystal ball peek there. He's like, oh, wait, need that weapon. Gun next, doing too much switching. And there's 4 for OpTic. Like we said, going just as how their first meeting went here on Split. As OpTic was able to take those first defensive rounds. We'll see what happens now moving in. It's going to be Net with the tour de force. Spectre still purchased there for tight situations. Yay, onto the operator. Tour de force ready as well. These are the moments we were waiting for on this. OpTic needs to separate themselves for guard so we can find our 5th map of the series. We've got a long way to go. Let's see if they can do it here in round 5.
Ye is actually going to sneak forward with this operator. Guiding light comes out. Ye still feeling fancy with the angle. Checks it. Trailblazer gets the reveal, so Ye has to rendezvous away. That should be mid-map control as OpTic cannot commit too much more forward to hold this position.
A bit of damage, too, and you get a direct bite from the Tasmanian pup. Oh. And this is just hold it. Hold it down. See and wait. A lot of noise being made. I feel like this isn't going to be the take right away unless it's a kill coming in from Net. Oh, and that's not going to be it.
No, just so much. I mean, the fast lane just creates so much doubt for the guard as they come forward, and they try to just take with numbers, and they do get high ground control, but they've lost B main. Marved is playing forward. That's a spike down. Oh, man. To make matters worse, JonahP and Sayaplayer are completely caught by the 0 point. So it's just not the adjustments that we wanted to see, although surely not. It's information on Victor. It's to be a 1v5. If he were to pull this off. Toggles the rope. This will cause OpTic to start rotating over, but as he drops down, FNS, the flash, that peak will get all the information they need, but Jonah still good? Surely not. Okay. Yay, finally gets the kill from behind, but goodness, Jonah lived for a lot longer than he thought he would.
Just checking every angle. He was right about a lot of them there. OpTic able to pinch down on another round. And for that, the guard look like they're not getting any of the executions they wanted, any part of the map. And let me explain that. From what we saw there in mid, it was 2 players instantly going down because of OpTic just having a free shot, right? We saw Victor standing there, and what happened before Victor made those shots? The blast pack was thrown mid, noise was made mid, and then no util was made on the peaks after. So you're basically just running up into heaven. Like, everyone's aware from OpTic that you're coming. So that's why I felt it was disjointed from the guard, because their util wasn't really used to assist each other. It was kind of just used. And OpTic is just punishing that. Really bad.
One of the other things to kind of keep note when these two teams had played in the winners finals, it wasn't just Sayaplayer that was having a hard time creating space as you would normally expect for a race, but even Trent had a hard time getting things going. From the offensive side. It's you've got so much potential to clear with the agents you're bringing to the mix. It's just the speed that OpTic can counter on.
Yeah.
it takes away the advantage almost instantly. It's really wild to see, and I think the way that Victor uses this Neon is very, very exclusively different than the times that we had seen in past, like when a crew would play it, like very different. And I love the way that they use this Neon to kind of just create free space by just toggling on the high gear.
Yeah, high gear, back and forth, relay bolt, fast lane. You're always considering, like, what's going to come out of that? Or is it just taunting us? It adds a different dynamic. As we said, the guard should be ready to expect quite a few of the plays that will be coming out of OpTic, but maybe that's easier to predict on the offensive side, right? Once you see the Neon, you make a bit better decision. Here, you have to find the Neon and possibly avoid the Neon, and Shield could be anywhere. Mid's going to be the play again. And if the flashes come through, but again, the dry peek towards heaven, blast pack there. So they replicate last round.
But this time it's through vents.
Yep.
Trademark goes down. Net saying, you want to shoot at my rendezvous? Yay. Well, back over towards A Rent. He's going to get concussed, but has he crit enough space to stay alive? Maybe not. He rendezvous back to make sure he's got safety. This is a great set of paint shells and paranoia. That will completely clear off A main. But the shot from Ye still good. Marved immediately back to retake space. This is what we're talking about. The speed of the retake from OpTic, so darn quick. And Net and Trent wishes they may could do nothing more.
Trent's running through the site. Probably hears the screams in heaven. He's like, I'm coming, guys. Don't worry. Oh, no. What a hold from OpTic there. The rotation over, like we said, trying to avoid Victor, but then he'll be there. And so will the rest of the team. That time, a family photo waiting in the backside of A Heaven. OpTic taking all the pictures they wanted there. 6-0. And looks like they've even bolstered that score line from last time. As we saw, they only picked up 4 before the guard were able to fight back and stop the bleeding. OpTic are doing such a great job at just not allowing these little touch and goes, the guards pressure mid or towards A, to affect them at all, right? Crashies will throw this out. You've got to keep focus on where this is each round because their rotations have been so good inside of OpTic, and the 0 point finds a few mid this time.
This time, Trailblazer is allowing Net to get super aggressive over towards vents early. And some respect here. Ye's going to back off, thinking that the trademark position that he's now installed into A tower is enough to keep the defenders on the low ground safe. Seeker is out. Victor in a bit of trouble, but once again, high gear just gets him out of dodge for free.
And look at the util too. Now coming through, Rolling Thunder's in, shift. Could this be enough? The retake from OpTic we get to see now.
Oh, but Ye sees the back shoulder of Trent. Not quite able to capitalize. Net will reveal himself. Victor, there it is. Breaks the camera, just slides through. Unbelievable. So now you can focus everything on the retake itself. That said, you have the tools to break this open if you're OpTic. One flash, one aftershock in the fault line, which the fault line actually does connect very heavily. Nova Pulse, and this is a great overhead view of it. Counter flash from Jonah does not allow a chance to stop the initial play forward. And now high ground control. Marved further making this difficult for the guard, trying to create space on the clock. Valyn, last one left, 1v3. I don't believe he's done enough. It'll be close. I don't think he's done enough.
Team Ace.
Oof. Half a second there on OpTic. Feels like they had a world of time, and the retake is so clean. The disruption you got out of the play from FNS's utility there displaced 2 members of the guard. You're instantly in chaos at that point because you need to find a position to reset, and that's when you see Marv starting to peek out on the heaven hanger, or catwalk rather, in really just a methodical retake. Nicely done to play through the smokes and keep the numbers up. 7-0. The guard just cannot find an answer in the site or not. They are being stopped down.
Oh boy. And now how about this? First look we've seen from OpTic to take away convincing control of A main. Fault line flashes 3 members deep is this play. And crashies is still holding on to a flash in case they want to go further. But as the fight comes to them, even exchange, that's actually not bad at all from the guard's point of view.
That should be a one and done. Oh my, FNS coming up with some frags right now. The 3v3 stopper into the site, connects with crashies as it forces him off the screen. And now it's going to be OpTic, puts himself, out on a limb.
Oh, Net just drops. Who fell onto his forehead.
Yes.
But the spike does get delayed. Marv still had the potential to try to clean this up, but It's a stack side by side for the guard, and a thrifty round is the way they get on the board.
So, coming into this map, the guard showed that a little bit of speed was how they kind of did, right? Get mid, push towards A, have a flanker there. They slowed that one down a bit to kind of absorb some of the information and utility that OpTic would have given them. Then taking as a team, they get into sight, some nice frags traded by FNS. But it seemed like that time it wasn't enough. Guard have been plagued right now in the past few rounds of losing too much before getting to the site. There, they were able to kind of stave it off. Maybe it was just the right numbers down. We'll have to see. But Guard needs to be able to carry these next ones here to build economy and get themselves back into this.
Yay, going to be tested here. Seems to be happy with it, though, at the rendezvous, keeping him safe. Waits out the boombot, which... we'll pretend like we didn't see that.
Oh.
But with this little sneak through, boy, yeah, not good news. And man, it's another, again, you have to guarantee clearance if you're Sayaplayer with that boombot.
You're not wrong. That's such a good point. I was going to say it's the first round they haven't made too much noise, but that's only because the boombot went the wrong way. So it becomes a dry peek again. Another thing that we've been seeing take members of the guard down, having to just get themselves into position. He heard that. Doesn't have time to switch out. Oh, you're kidding me, yay. So much info grab.
Fault line from across the map from FNS to keep him safe? Sure looked that way.
Yeah. It has been used. The synergy right now of knowing when each other need help, how to play that situation, the instant charge and use of the fault line just OpTic. Well, okay, Saya shuts me up for a moment as in meeting Crow talking about OpTic. Guard now take out a few for themselves for the 2v2.
This would be huge for the guard. And you've got a setup here to where you hope that Valyn can just delay for as long as humanly possible. Let Jonah just be essentially clutch win condition. Knife out. Rolling Thunder through. That will call Jonah to move a little bit quicker to help out his teammate. As his position's revealed, it's a 1-for-1 exchange. FNS down low. Does not get the flash off. Jonah steps over the top. Actually, part of it is an aftershock to flush him through. Either way, not successful. The guard steal away a second round.
Are we going to get... I thought we were going to get another blowout match, but this could easily be a 7-5 very fast with the way this is turning around. Wow, looking at how the guard are able to kind of punish these rounds. Now, we've seen one at A and we've seen one at B, right? So the guard definitely know what kind of flavor OpTic is trying to put down for a defensive setup. Great job by JonahP here, stepping up. We've heard the desk talking about him over the last, or I should say this week, a little bit of the last 6-8-2 for his team right now as this game gets going, and it forces OpTic into a timeout. The 7-5 would almost feel like those 7 rounds weren't really that much. Shift?
No,
what happens?
yeah. Yeah, no, 5 would be unbelievable for the guard. Not just because of how they would get 5, but just statistically speaking, if you want to hold off against OpTic, who is a 56% attack winner on split, you almost have to get to 5. 4 would be a huge success story in its own regard, but in terms of the macro for the map, yeah, you have to be able to turn this economy around into your favor for the guard, and you have a realistic chance of getting this to 5, because this is going to be, well, there's a lot of money on Marved. It would be hard-pressed to feel like they're going to have a comfortable buy will OpTic, depending on how this round goes, but
yeah, this
would be massive for the guard, not just in economy, but also potentially towards alts.
I feel like the last few rounds from guard are reminiscent of their icebox. They took a step back, stopped playing OpTic's game, the worry about Victor's neon game. I like that they kind of left one in there too. It's like, yeah, Valyn's here, and you might have hit one other just for a bit of knowledge. But see what they can do. If they figure out what Victor wants to do and how to pressure, and guard goes back to playing their game, as I was saying.
Yeah. Dear Holy Knife means free Trailblazer, right? So this is free utility for the guard to get aggressive control of A ramps for the first time, mind you. So pressure now mounts towards Ye. Operator on the site, flashed, concussed, still holds his ground for a touch, gets a read on the player from behind, is able to deny the teleport of Valyn to get into the site, and as OpTic regain control of high ground, now it's down to the guard to try to set something up here around the low, and boy, I'll tell you, this Cosmic Divide is making life very difficult as OpTic continue to pick apart this guard setup.
Slow peeks, yay, still with the operator is so terrifying. Spike's going down, it's in a defensive position, and they're yanked off real quick by Marv, still throwing that Astra in there. OpTic, love the potential, and it delays enough for both frags required. OpTic are not giving an inch on these rounds. The timeout pays off. They reorganize, reset, and take the rounds back from the guard.
Look, it's just a good clinical dissection of the take from OpTic's point of view with the Cosmic Divide in the first place. But these last two shots from Ye.
Yeah.
He's just good at the toy, bro. There's nothing else you could say here. I mean, the opening, again, for him to hold his ground while he's stunned and flashed is unreal. But then that flick and then the corner shoulder into Valyn just, yeah, that's the reaction top right that I think we all have. What? How has he done that?
Give him a sliver, it'll take your liver. Ye is cleaning up right now, taking names. I mean, literally, Victor was just on top of that scoreboard. Crashies and Ye were like, you're right there. Don't worry about it. Yeah, it's much more possible that they do make that a third game scoreline now of what we just saw on Breeze by stopping guard dead in their tracks after 2 rounds. It's such good. It's so good to see from teams that, you know, that can come back from those rounds, seeing them pressured into certain situations. I mean, if you have a team that just wins everything and goes, you wonder what the fault is and how many people can kind of pressure that, right? Push on that pressure point once it's found. But both teams showing us how well-rounded they are here. OpTic able to pull a bit back in their favor. 4-4 for this round, though. I think we're going to get tested on an A-site tape.
Well, thinking about it, you don't have a commitment from the spike itself, even though all of the guard members are pushed forward into this. And boy, this is a bit disjointed, isn't it? Seekers through doesn't really do too much. That's the spike down, net on his lonesome, 1v4. I would have to make something happen with a variety of different scopes, whichever he prefers. Opts for the quicker scope of the tour. And even though his position is revealed, but to say he may have a bit of clearance here, but no, not the case. Marved quickly picks it up. We go 9-2. This has been straight domination.
OpTic's reads on the guard right now are pretty insane. The way that they're able to get into position, the way that Ye's been holding sight, and I think the factor is that Ye, like this chamber switch, has been so amazing for OpTic. I think we have all seen a level up since they were able to put chamber in this roster. Due to the way they push, the way they use trademarks, and the way that Ye can now be in your face and then be a protector of the site, right? Yeah. And then that makes you change your main mind the whole time. He has so much domination over the game, and we can get that out of Sayaplayer too, right? Both these teams have that ace in the hole. It's just we're not seeing it this time. That raise again isn't coming online, and this could be the final round as OpTic push a 10-2 onto the guard.
And the guard have no idea what's around this corner. So much utility. Coming got FNS. Re-clearance by way of guiding light, but OpTic is ready for this hit. They've got 2 members topside A. Ramps flash comes out, opening range trade. Fast lane creating a bit of space, but not enough. Sayaplayer taking that will also turn the judge into a rifle as it's the guard on the high ground at A.
Yeah. Just the advantageous play. Judge, blast pack, ramp. Somebody's close. Bye-bye. Lay down the verdict. Guard doing a little bit more now in A.
That should be the round, really. I say should very selectively, though, Riv. Yeah. We'll see. Headhunter, operator, caught swapping between the two. It'll be a 9-3 half. Even though the guard will meet their metric of a 33% win rate on the attacking half, it may not be good enough. We'll find out. Convincing control for OpTic as we go to the halftime break. Well, just as convincing of a map as we saw for Breeze for the guard.
Yeah.
Same can now be said for OpTic here on Split. And the Green Wall fans very happy about even the further corrections. And I don't even say corrections. Building on a good thing, I think is what we could say, as a 9-3 half leads to an OpTic offense.
It seems like when we saw OpTic on that defensive side, they seemed much more comfortable in how they wanted to use Victor. Or offensive side, sorry, the first time we saw them.
Sure, yeah.
Now the defensive side looking a bit more robust gives them 9, and now Victor can go to work with what he's intended to do.
Yep. Fault line through. This time, though, the guard are going to counter by just spamming through it. Fault line was also a part of the picture, even exchange, as the spike makes its way on, and Victor just takes away so much control. Even pushing all the way in towards screens. Alleviates the zone, though, allowing an opportunity for the guard to freely walk forward, but as they do, it's Ye who meets them. And a numbers advantage for OpTic as they look for their 10th round.
That is the fortunate for OpTic, unfortunate for guard. Obviously, that's the guiding light that they were going to use to get into the site. Now OpTic can just kind of hold hard angles and not really have to worry about losing their eyesight. Here comes the plant down. Well garrisoned inside that A. On the flank from the guard. Let's see what they can do here. Classic and Headhunter ready.
And the guard should know that the post plant is all on the site here. They're even letting Net search to see if anyone's lingering towards sewers. So now they for sure know. Boombot's still in half the Sayaplayer, but decides just to go blindly. And as the fault line has been recharged, Net gets completely grounded, and OpTic take the pistol.
I love since they don't see him right away. They're like, all right, fault line, insta hit.
Feels good, man.
Ooh, OpTic, yeah. Feels good for sure. FNS is reeling right now. Oh, had they had guiding light, there's so much better chance that they take those two that were kind of playing the stack on elbow, right? You get elbow, you're in sight. Then you have such a great push from Net that would be coming in. So that frag from Ye onto JonahP was huge for the retake. 10-3 as we start off our second one. It looks like it's just going to be the pretty timid buy on the side of OpTic.
This is what the desk had brought up, that Ye was getting so far forward for free. It's a double stack 2-2 split in mid, trying to deny vents from Ye. And well, as his different utility gets destroyed, he'll know that someone's going to be threatening him over in towards the vent entryway. Fast lane goes up, but slowly walk forward OpTic. And still the guard are nowhere to be found. They're still trying to isolate Ye mid-map.
They know Ye's mid-map. Oh, they know. What? Why does it matter, Shiv? Does it matter?
Dude.
Oh my god.
There's no way. You can't, there's no way.
I love that the intention was to kill Ye. Ye is going to be here so much that OpTic basically just walked onto B, and it didn't end up working in mid.
They didn't find a single kill on that. It was a 2v4 with information from the guard's point of view.
Oh,
oh man, that's disgusting.
That's a bit of a read there by Ye. He's like, you know what? I don't like the fact that they destroyed that. Let's both back up. Crossfire mid. Unleash hell on the guard. Oh my word. 11-3. We're into guns. Guard's best chance here to kind of buck back on the trend that OpTic's had over the past few rounds. And it looks like they will go full buy as much as they can, even if it leaves them with that half armor.
Curious to see what exactly the guard want to do with this setup that they have right here on top of A. There's a lot of pings for both sides, looking to get top A control, and as Victor high gears forward, stun comes through, he wants the gunfight, but Net turns him aside. So good first blood for the guard. You would think that would mean significant control over to the A defense, but still pushing forward is OpTic, and as Trent gets an opportunity to follow up, he largely misses on it. It's a solo peek from Net, turns into a 1v1, and as the kill feed goes pinstripe, it'll leave crashies left by his lonesome. But he's got some sound cues, and he's got the ability to elude this entire setup by slipping back over to B.
Yeah. Great thinking. Chambers down. Avenues of escape are up. And he's going to take ropes immediately. And he can tell the map has been rotated. Like, going this fast with a minute left. What a read so far. The comms have come into crashies. He'll have a 0 point. Even if a little early, the denied or the info or negative info is still going to help him a bit. But man, this is a task here.
Yeah.
To carry this
I mean,
bonus over would be
realistically,
ridiculous.
You would have to get a flash double immediately.
Is that the... Oh, no, he still has flash. That was a guiding
No, that
light.
was guiding light, yeah. Paint shells back corner. Oh, that might be it. Yep, sure is.
Yeah, tough one there. You just get pinched out, especially when you have a raise on defense. That nade has not been used. Good luck hiding in the back of any site for a portion of time. Guard take that one pretty slow, methodical on the defensive side, knowing that it would be OpTic on Spectres. But that only spells one thing. Gun round v gun round now. Net could keep it down on the tour de force here. Keep the economy going. They need everything if they lose this round, and that extra bit of money could help. Dueling tour de force, if you will. Those are the only ults online as we come into round 16.
This is the 1v1 that, again, I think just after the winners finals, this is what matters, because Ye was not touched at all in the OpTic battle. Net just was not hanging with him, and again, because Sayaplayer chose to play Raze on both maps, he wasn't bringing an op out of his own. So you have to start to turn that conversation, because El Diablo has been different in these last two series that he's played versus the Guard.
I mean, you go 8-0 in opening frags, and
exactly,
yeah, people are afraid of you, right? Like, they want to go to a different site 100%. Right now, shoulder peaks mid 3 there.
Nothing.
Net tries his hand.
The relay bolt forces out one other. So again, mid-map control that has to be considered for the Guard as they send a flash forward. It may have been too soon, so you still don't know what's lurking in towards mailroom, but for OpTic, it's all 5 members. Expect to see the fast lane, followed up by the fault line, followed up by dissection from Marved. There it is.
Oof.
Here comes the take forward. Paint shells comes through the delay for at least a little bit, but Victor still clears the ground. Aftershock clearing off where the plant would likely be.
What a good hide.
Sayaplayer's still on. Hold on a second. Sayaplayer is still here, and the Guard are going to be able to find the way to out-trade this. Last player left is Ye. He gets caught. That is a brilliant adjustment from the Guard.
Really nicely done. A great read by the Guard. And Shift, we have to say, an incredibly important round. I think they all are here on out for the Guard to keep their from backs against the wall. But really nice retake there. Actually, to praise OpTic, I love the way they're using Victor to get into the site. He's got a lot of pressure on his shoulders. But to have just Neon go into the site, if we talk about that, everybody's following that clear, right? You're not pushing too far forward. You have the back of the site. Sayaplayer had just enough room to change the situation there in B.
And I love the fact that Sayaplayer holds onto the paint shells until after everything gets used, because it allows you a chance to not even worry about holding on the site.
Exactly.
You can retake on the backside of the paint shells. So good efficiency from Sayaplayer there. Setting up their defensive retake, and now an opportunity to really tilt the scales back into your favor. It's just one rifle for Ye.
So they've seen JonahP here quite a few times. Looks like OpTic's trying to play off that tendency that they've seen. No frag just yet. Jonah's going to hold back. Better safe than sorry. Quick Trailblazer into ropes.
Also, keep in mind, what this defensive setup for the Guard is over towards B itself. It's double trademarks up top. So you may expect the first one, but do you expect the second? Both players on the site very comfortable as Jonah continues to have this battle over through fence. Fault line will come through. Will there be a full retake? Well, careful. Marved on the outside nearly blows up the play individually, but it is the OpTic that have to concede space.
Tell me they go around the world. I love that you pointed out the trademarks as well, because we're seeing that shift from the Guard, right? Those have been on A main and on ropes. Now, Double Heaven could definitely take somebody off guard, and it is going to be the re-hit. They obviously have to go back for Spike, but how will they pinch here from the rope side? And still, you have Net anchoring, so Guard feels comfortable in this hold.
Yep, 100%. There's the fast line. This will give it away. Play has to be on towards A. Valyn, oh, nearly flashed out, but the combination of him and Trent are good. And then, well, you spam through the neon walls, and no problem there for the Guard to get the defuse. But at least for OpTic, you're able to turn an eco into a plant and a kill.
I mean, you see how quick Guard snapped down on that and get the kill, right? You could ask yourself, why not just do that in a second earlier? They are playing the advantages game right now. They don't want to leave anything to chance, especially this close to the end of a map. 11 for OpTic now, and Guard has been able to hold them back for the last few rounds. This is so big. We're back on operators. It's going to be Ye pushing to this with the light armor, making sure the headhunter is full in his pocket. OpTic now to try not a different attack. They're still going to have a focus mid. I thought they were going to stick towards A bit. Spikes in the hands of FNS as we start this round. Rolling Thunder's up too for both teams.
Yeah, that's going to be the interesting thing because OpTic in the past have chosen to use their Rolling Thunder almost immediately just to take convincing space, not necessarily to use it as a post-plant secure. So we'll see if that changes. Dueling flashes open up space for OpTic to take through mid, but there's a trademark lurking in through vents, which Jonah will use as next point of contact, while the rest of the Valor defense is largely just playing passive, waiting for a stack to come, maybe even through mail as they double check and clear.
Oh, there's a lot going off. So much invested in this round. Can it be the one that OpTic pull back?
Crashies get scouted, though. Jonah's going to have a free peek here.
You know where he is?
There it is. That's the denial. Null command now down. But the plant will be given away. You have to look at Trent. How do you use your Rolling Thunder to retake? Cosmic Divide will be spent first for OpTic, trying to reinforce the post-plant setup. But as Crashies taken away, there's the showstopper in combination with the Rolling Thunder. Sayaplayer uses that for one, but the fight back from OpTic is still good. FNS concussed beyond recognition on the site, avoids the flash for a second, but it's Jonah who gets the double. Marved, last one standing up top.
Waiting.
Tries to wait for as long as possible. Valyn sticking for at least half. Dark covers littering this. Valyn still holding, and there's not enough ammunition. The guard successfully retake, and now we got ourselves a map.
I think OpTic had a mid-round call there because they didn't get information out of their positioning. We saw you want to put a lot of priority on the null command, right? Almost protect it. So to have null command just pop alt in mid alone, that ultimate identifies the position of the player as well. So you're already saying like, okay, we actually need to do this to create chaos without knowing the guard's positioning. And really, like you said, it really reveals Crashy more than anything. So that I feel like was OpTic kind of in that mid round, having an idea of what they wanted to do, but just weren't in position with the information when it came time to do it.
Wow. That's a heck of a response. And I think maybe arguably you look at OpTic and say, did we just overcommit too much to trying to take the site and not leaving anything on the backhand, especially considering what the guard still has tool-wise available. Like imagine a mid-retake null command to come through to stop down the showstopper. That would have been big-time plays, but doesn't happen.
No, what a comeback from the guard too now.
Yeah.
The footing that they find, the cooperation between each other and such a young team. You know, it's not like, hey, veteran player, can you let me know what it means like to be in a best of 5 and that world they're learning this experience, right? It's probably going to be a while before we see a rookie team do this again. It's been spectacular by the guard, and this is a reason here why they're able to show so well, pushing OpTic to a timeout because of that teamwork, that patience, knowing when they do and don't have to go the extra step, even from behind.
Love this little play from the guard. Take away B garage immediately. Double trademark set up through vents. So you're comfortable for any push through to A heaven. So you've got your defenders low.
Go button.
Yep, sure looks that way. Retake of B main is successful for OpTic. 3-man stack up top. Trent giving the first one tested, likely. Oh no. Overdrive's also out here. Yeah, sure does. But still, the thing about this is not a pinch that's coming through successfully. Jonah tries to sidestep to the dark cover, but the kills come through, and OpTic, once again in thrifty rounds, show you how good they are. Still a 3v1. Valyn, last one left. Not a lot of tools to retake this B side either.
Isn't it absurd, Shift, how they can continue to do this on the thrifty rounds? Just run around, clap some hands together, throw some change, confuse them, take their guns, and take the round all together. Thrifty there for OpTic to put it on game point and look for map 5 as the guard claw back here into split.
Dude, their win rate off of thrifty rounds has to be like 75% plus. It has to be. I don't know it off the top of my head. We'll have to relook at Valor GG at the end, but I feel like it's at least 75% right now.
That's ridiculous. That's it's actually gross. You have to consider what that actually means for a squad, right?
Yeah, for real.
In just money and round wins, extra alt points, things you can set up down the line and how you're achieving them. Every little bit matters, and the thrifties are really ones to capitalize in that area. Valyn has ult ready. He's been using it to kind of be a nuisance, be a distraction. This fight and Zip continues to happen, and crashies wins this time with a bit of help from Victor.
Yeah, that's just too greedy from Jonah. He's been in that same position a couple of different times.
Great point, yeah.
And now, look at this. The guard think that with that miss over through mid, these defenders at B have to take garage control. And what a call it is! Valyn for 2, just a double peek, and that actually puts a significant amount of control in favor of the guard. The spike's down here in garage. You have to retake this.
Out of the pinch. Answered. 2v2 now.
Still, though, that is not bad at all for the guard. Good awareness, good heads-up play. Gives you a chance. And look at the long lurk from Net. He's going to be in a spot to make sure there's no rotation, but the problem is Trent gets caught off guard in the opposite angle through dirt. Spike planted. Net gives up the operator in favor of a rifle. This will be a 1v2. OpTic's post plant starting to get set up through the high ground. Marved would be probably win condition here, as crashies will be closest to checking as soon as Net decides to toggle. He's gotten full clarity of what's on the site itself. Can he isolate? The answer is no. OpTic send it to a map 5.
Oh my.
Oh my, indeed.
I am so happy this is what's going down. We saw such a good half there from OpTic on the first half. The guard fighting back, almost not allowing it. Sideshow already said it. Ridiculous compositions on Haven for both of these squads. The chess match hasn't even begun yet, Shift. What a final. What a grand final we are getting from the OpTic and the guard.
Oh boy, it's going to be all the way to the distance. Map 5.